Welcome to the weekend, everybody. And hey, I'm Corey, the talented blind guy.
I'm LaQuita Marie, his wife.
And today we want to welcome you to Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life Live, where we explore different topics about what it means to be someone that's differently able and to be working with my spouse and children and other members of the community to do what we do in life, to change the narrative of normal of what it means to be differently able instead of disabled. You get to ask questions, participate with us, you get to make comments. LaQuita Marie, you will be reading the comments, right?
I will be reading comments as they come in, absolutely.
So LaQuita Marie will be reading the comments because I can't see, and we'll be interacting with you. Today's, as normal, we're going to start with our word on the street, where we explore different words from around the world. And you're also going to meet our special featured guest, who is a real life Princess Tiana, all the way from New Orleans, Louisiana. It's going to be Miss Nikki Antoine, very talented performing artist. We'll introduce her to you and share her connection to our life as part of our team, our dance theater. And we're also going to have a very tasty plant-based treat that LaQuita Marie is going to share. So we're not going to give that secret away. You got to wait to the end to see the plant-based treat.
Well, actually, we will give them a sneak peek. Good morning to you, Shine Bright. She says, happy risings, everyone.
Shine bright in the house. Shine bright. Again, we need you to shine brighter. We need some more sun and some warmth. It's cold out there.
Hey, yes, go for it. So now the weather report, Corey, just so that you know, the weather report out here is not exactly warm, but it is bright. It's sunny, and it's around the 46, halfway between 40 and 50. And just so you know, I'm reading these comments. Of course, you can't see them, but hey, I'm reading it to you. Hello, hello, hello. You got this. Thanks, Morgan. We appreciate that encouragement. We got this. We can do it. So, Corey, for today's plant-based treat, we actually do have a sneaky little preview so that they will know, what to expect. So we've got our guest for the day. That's Nikki A. And of course, for today, for the plant-based treat, I'm just going to show you something that you may or may not have heard about. So it's a very short snippet of a certain grain. So we've got our fonio here. It's an organic grain, and it cooks pretty quickly. It's one of the most nutritious grains on the planet. Cooks in 5 to 10 minutes according to the instructions here. And of course, your oats, those are gluten-free as well. So 2 wonderful grains, good food, good sources. Get you some and enjoy these things. All right, Corey, so that's a sneak peek as to our plant-based treats. Should we move on into our word of the day?
Yes, let's get ready for one of our favorite segments. It's time for today's word on the street. We're gonna bring in.
All right, we've got a couple of folks here that are smiling and waving. And just so you know, Corey, we just got a weather report. Erica Roberts says, baby, it's cold outside. We appreciate that. And of course,
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I wish it was May.
Baby, it's cold. No. Hey. Okay. Well,
okay. You got 2 of our. Remember a few days ago we introduced to you, last week actually, the Swahili word watoto, which means child or children. We have 2 of our watoto here. We have Christiana and Coco with today's word on the street. Ladies, what's the word on the street today?
Nia.
Nia.
What does Nia mean?
Nia means purpose, and it means that you know your purpose to help your community in a positive way.
Knowing what the part that you can play to help your community in a positive way. What do you guys do to show your Nia to help the community in a positive way?
We help with the Kwanzaa show.
Okay.
Now, speaking of the Kwanzaa show, there's a Kwanzaa show that we create every year, It's Harambe for the holidays. Harambe means to pull together. It's a Swahili word, just like Nia. All of the Kwanzaa words come from the Kiswahili language. And so for Harambe for the holidays, that is where we pull together, and Nia is one of the principals.
So, with that being said, we want to thank you, ladies, for joining us and to present today's word on the street. Did you guys have a slang word you wanted to talk about today?
Tripping.
Oh, y'all know that word very well, don't you? Tripping. Yeah, tripping, that's one of those ones, LaQuita, that's been around since we were kids. People always talk about, man, you tripping.
Yeah.
You want to explain what tripping might mean?
Well, for us, tripping did not mean you were falling down. Tripping meant you were
Acting up.
Acting up. Is that what you said, Christiana and Coco?
Yeah, I said it.
Right. Tripping means acting up. Everybody's speaking in the comments. Corey, Erica Roberts is over there with all the smiley faces, the microphone, and Shine Bright is saying thank you to Coco and Christiana. So we thank you so much, guys, for being here today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
All right, you're welcome, and we're going to move on to our next segment. So, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. Unless there's another family that wants to come on. Guys, if you want to be featured on Word on the Street, your child's name can be right there so we can have Word on the Street with your child. Just send us a message right under this video. Let us know that you want to be featured. Put it in the chat, put it in the video comments, and we'll contact you. So, Corey, where are we going right now? Is it time for the 5-minute story time, or is it time for our guest of the day? We always have a guest of the day. And for today's guest, we do have Miss Nikki Antoine, who is an actress. She's a, what else is she, Corey?
She's just an overall well-rounded performer with different genres of dance and, like you said, acting as well.
All right. So why don't you give us a little bit of a story so that with the 5-minute story time, we can introduce Nikki to today's stream. Now, I'm going to make sure that we show a little bit of her participation while you kind of give us this story.
It's time for today's 5-minute story with the blind guy. In today's story, it comes from the Yoruba people of Nigeria, West Africa. It's about a character named Ijapa. Ijapa means turtle in the Yoruba language. And this character misses out on his purpose of participating in the community in this story because he chooses not to listen. This story starts in Animal Land when King Lion announced that the harvest was a successful harvest and it was time to celebrate. He told every animal in his kingdom to come to his home for a party and celebration. They all were to bring food, song, and dance. And he would give a special gift to the animal that decorated the drum with the best flowers, leaves, and grass, or Telerenconte,
Adoncote,
Telerenconte,
Adoncote.
Now, Ijapa the turtle was not listening, and he missed the announcement to come be part of the community because he was too busy at the pond looking at his long wavy hair. But there was one animal that was listening. The elephant. He told everyone, all you animals come to my home. Bring ingredients to make a big pot of stew. We'll cook it together. And while it cooks, we'll practice our singing, our dancing, and we will decorate our drums with Telerenconte,
Adoncote,
Telerenconte,
Adoncote.
Now, Ijapa was not listening because he was looking at his reflection in the pond to see his
long wavy hair.
And because of that, he missed the announcement, but he did hear what was going on at the elephant's home. And tune in next time to the story adventure of the day with the blind guy to hear the rest of the story tomorrow. Now, speaking of purpose, We have someone that knows their purpose in life. She's a very talented performer all the way from New Orleans. She is what I call the real life Princess Tiana. Her name is Nikki Antoine, and normally we have our bala play music to introduce our guests, but not this time. This time.
Well, make sure you hit that like button, Shine Bright says. So you guys, I don't know if that makes a sound when you hit the like button, but hey, that could be your music. And we also have Blind Guy, his wife, their life saying Happy Africa Day to you. Global Green Book is in the house. She says story time is her favorite.
All right. Thank you, Global Green Book. So tune in tomorrow to get the rest of the story.
Yes. And actually, she says, Zenobia says she's ready. And we have people in here speaking Swahili. Nzuri Asubuhi it is. So we need a translator here. We got a few translators in our house, so they'll come back and let us know. Also, another weather report, Corey. It's cold outside.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Is this the intro music?
No. The intro music for the real life Princess Tiana is in the Southland. There's a city way down on the river.
Hey.
And we're gonna stop right there as we bring her in right away. Miss Nikki Antoine. Everybody, let's welcome Nikki to today's broadcast.
All right. Welcome, Nikki. How are you?
Hi. Pretty good. How are you guys? Say hi.
Hi.
We can hear Sydney there. We can hear you a little bit, but it is still glitching. And just so that you know, Corey, Mzuri Asubuhi means good morning. So thank you for that translation. I see your lips moving, and Zenobia is clapping, but I think it's glitching. Oh my goodness. Try saying something else to us so that way we can see if we can. So while you talk, I'm just going.
Can you hear me?
Now we got you.
That is better. I was going to say, while you are talking, we are going to just show some footage from the other night where you are on stage, moving around on stage. And while you're moving around on stage, let's see if we can get back there. You can talk to us. We'll talk about this whole Kwanzaa experience.
So, Nikki, give us a little bit of your background in the performing arts.
So,
Nikki is glitching again. She's over here on the left side, just on the other side of your shoulder.
I actually started out in theater and elementary school. I always knew that I wanted to be a performer, but I wasn't just sure quite yet what was going to be my niche. So actually, I was in a few plays growing up. I was in the Best Christmas Pageant Ever, Breaking a Rose, and I saw some dancers because I went to performing arts school, which is a later version. I met my husband, who's an artist. You can follow him at iBroderick on Facebook and Instagram. But when I was introduced to different forms of ballet, I fell in love, and I was
all right, so Nikki, we are not hearing you back there.
Gift for ballet, but I eventually hurt my ankle.
It is glitching really bad right now, and every other word we cannot. Oh my goodness, we cannot hear you.
Oh no!
Hold on. So I don't know if there's a different place to pull in from. You know, people are saying hello, a true New Orleans. Hi, Miss Nikki. Hey, Sydney, because they saw him in the background. And hey, Miss Nikki, looking very radiant today, positively glowing. So when we talk, I don't know if we are glitching, but when you're speaking, we can barely hear like the full sentence.
And just to give you a little background on Nikki, Nikki is trained in lots of different genres of the performing arts, specifically in dance. She studied at the New Orleans School of Performing Arts, and she did African dance, ballet, Caribbean, lots of different dance genres that she specialized in while she was there. And
Absolutely.
She brought that talent to the stage with us last year in our Harambe for the Holidays, production last year. Now, the great thing about Nikki was a funny story about how we actually met. We actually met at a local museum here in Portsmouth, Virginia. And
people are still sending comments, Corey. Broderick Antoine says, hey, Princess Nikki, you guys, Broderick is going to be our guest tomorrow. And Broderick is actually an artist. So if you were here earlier and you saw his ticker, Broderick is an artist. And so he's done artwork for our productions. iBroderick is where you can find him on Facebook and Instagram. And so, Corey, this just in. Miss Nikki is using the slang word of the day. She says, so sorry, my phone is tripping. And so we're going to see if we can bring her back in. We're going to see if we can, get her back on. And everybody's excited. Erica is saying, wow, very talented. I love to hear her story one day. Today is probably going to be the day we're going to bring her in and try it. So, Miss Nikki, if you're ready, we will bring you right in and we'll try it again. Everybody, introducing again, Miss Nikki Antoine.
Oh. Can you guys hear me now?
It's a little bit better. Keep talking.
Go ahead and tell your story because Zenobia would love to hear it.
Okay, so I actually started dancing. Well, I started acting before I started dancing, and I fell in love with the theater. And I studied Shakespeare, was in the Brick and the Rose play, the best Christmas pageant ever, all during my primary years of education. And I went to a performing arts school in middle school as well as high school, which is where I met my husband, who is an artist, a visual artist specializing in portraits. You can follow him at iBroderick on Facebook as well as Instagram. But at that school, in the middle school, I saw some dances and I was like, oh my goodness, like I love this. I would love to do this. So when I auditioned for the Performing Arts High School, which is called Noka Riverfront, I auditioned for musical theater, and I passed dancing portion, ace acting portion, and completely bombed the singing portion. And they were like, oh my goodness, like you can really dance, you can act. We're not sure about that voice of yours. So I had to choose between theater and dance. And I chose dance because I really loved ballet. Unfortunately, well, in my junior year of high school, I was Clara, the first Black Clara in New Orleans for the New Orleans Ballet Theater out there. And after that performance for Christmas for the Nutcracker, I sprained my ankle, and my ankles have never been the same. So now I typically stick to more grounded dance, and I found love for African tap as well as jazz and modern.
Mm.
Now, you had a great background in all sorts of dance. What was your experience with Kwanzaa before you met with us and became part of Atumpan Dance Theater?
Yeah, and also just so that people are saying you came back like you never left. They can, they're all ears. They were ready for your story. That's what Erica Roberts said. And then Sean Bright says, Princess Nikki, yep, we can hear you nice and clear. So the audio is great. So go ahead and give us an idea of what your experience with Kwanzaa was before experiencing it with us, after experiencing it with us. Has it been different between last year and this year?
Prior to meeting you guys and joining you guys' wonderful cast of Harambe for the holidays, I had no experience at all with Kwanzaa because, like I said, that I hadn't been introduced to African dance until my later years. And so I was not involved in the culture and and developed more lower African dance. Then I was introduced more to the practices, the culture, the dance, the music, and I knew of Kwanzaa, but honest, coming from Louisiana, New Orleans specifically, the African community down there is like really into like voodoo, and I was like, no, I'm gonna just stay away. And so they
So
all
wait a minute.
celebrated
I have a,
Kwanzaa and the religion, the part of the religion. I was like, no.
right. I was going to say, like,
You'd said something.
yeah, I was just going to ask. You were saying that the culture there was leaning more in one direction, and you said, what was the word that you said?
It's commonly pronounced voodoo, but it correctly voodoo.
Mm. Just so you know that Fenice is saying, Miss Fan Britt, hey there, Miss Nikki. And you know, I asked about that word. She's saying hi to Fenice. I ask about that word because there's a lot of misunderstanding about so many things. And so what we do is we always shy away from it. If we're not familiar with voodoo or voodoo, if we're not familiar with African dance, if we're not familiar with ballet, you know, we just shy away from it. So give us your experience then, you know, moving forward.
Right, and it's not what I thought it was. Like once, right, and it's not actually what I thought it was. I like associated voodoo with like bad, and it's not. It's actually a religion, and they believe in God like we do. They believe in Mary like we do. They just have different practices they use, whereas we choose to pray. They choose to like what you call it, but they'll have like a ritual where they'll dance and they'll gather and they'll sing, and we just do it differently. So it was my lack of knowledge towards the African culture initially associate Kwanzaa with like something totally different than what it is. And being a part of it last year was actually amazing, and having my whole family involved in you guys' performance and production was it was, I don't know, it's something that we're going to always remember, especially since my son is still singing Funwa Alafia to this day. Like everything that we did last December, he is parroting it to today.
You know, when you say Funwa Alafia, that particular song is one that we learned as funga because the American schools taught it as funga. They had the pronunciation wrong. They even have it in music books. They got the music, the words, everything. However, we have Nigerian friends that speak the language where the song comes from. So once we found out what it was, we started singing it in its original tongue, which is Funwa. The word actually means, it means give us. And so Alafia means peace. Whereas when we're singing Funga Alafia or Funga Alafia, it's sort of like saying,
blah, blah,
bibbity boppity boo.
Give us peace. Us peace. Bibbity boppity boo. Peace.
Right. And so, you know, one thing that we've been striving for in our works is, you know, to really honor the African culture. If we're going to present it, we always try to research and, you know, present it well. And we have here Shine Bright saying, wow, that's so informative to hear your experiences with those cultural practices from New Orleans. Thanks for sharing. And Broderick Antoine, the artist, we're going to show some of his artwork here soon, and he's going to actually be a featured guest tomorrow, guys. He says, yes, voodoo was originally used to unite the people in a positive manner. So, you know, it's just great when you have information that's accurate. And we've got a good morning to you as well from Karen Pino.
And again, this ties right back into the whole purpose, the Nia, the purpose of things. It says so it helps to understand the purpose of what you're doing when you get involved. So just like Roger said, the idea of voodoo was to actually unite the people. It's the same thing with the word Harambe, pulling together, uniting people. working together, working with us, and that's how it works with us with our Harambe for the holidays. We just pull different people from the community with all their talents together and put that on stage with the purpose of educating others around us. So we have a good time with that.
So definitely, Nikki, we have enjoyed you today. We're just going to show folks a little bit of last year. The artwork that your husband created is right there at the back of the screen there. That waterfall, he drew that picture. Not drew, but he painted it. And so you were one of those dancers right there at the forefront. Last year's show was definitely an amazing one. And there you are on the stage to the far right, standing on the very end there with the background behind you from Broderick. You guys make sure you go follow him. Make sure you follow tomorrow as well. Broderick will be here. And so from last year's production, we just had so much fun with it. And definitely, Nikki, we want to make sure we show people here you are as the queen. You know, you're right there at the far right again. You're dancing right there. And so that was definitely a fun year. So any parting words, Nikki, before we say goodbye to you for today? We truly enjoyed you. It's glitching again.
Yeah, I think we have some technical difficulties, but we want to thank you.
Oh, you're breaking up again.
Yeah,
oh, no.
It's breaking up. I'm sorry. This technology.
But we thank you, Nikki, for joining us. We're going to put you backstage again as we get ready to explore with LaQuita Marie today's plant-based treat.
All right. So, guys, we are going to finish today's episode with today's plant-based treats. Now, we do have a hello, just so that you know, Corey from LaShonda Brooks, she's waving there. And then we also have here Fan Britt saying, I so enjoy performing on stage with you, Miss Nikki. Your energy is amazing. And so we definitely have some fun here with our productions. Shine Bright is just reminding you guys, don't forget to click the bell or the thumbs up button, the like button on this video. That way you can receive instant notifications. And don't forget, tomorrow's special guest is visual artist Broderick A. So make sure you're here for that. So for today's plant-based treats, we already gave you a snippet. And we have two special grains here. One is fonio, and this particular grain, we know you can't see it very well, but this is a huge bag. This is actually 2.2 pounds. If you look for this in the store, it is a very small bag, like 3 or 4 ounces or something silly like that, where you only get 1 or 2 servings. And we're also going to show you some rolled oats here, or oatmeal. Now, you can find most of these things at Walmart, but our fonio, I get this online from Akim Pierre. So I'm just going to show you a quick clip just to explain how you can prepare these for breakfast, guys. This is where you are using plant-based treats for optimal health and nutrition, because that's the whole point. This particular fonio, it is one of the most nutritious grains on the planet.
How do you spell that?
It's a source of iron and zinc, and you spell it Fonio. So here we go. So we've got our fonio here. It's an organic grain, and it cooks pretty quickly. It's one of the most nutritious grains on the planet. So we've got our fonio here. It's an organic grain, and it cooks pretty quickly. It's one of the most nutritious grains on the planet. Cooks in 5 to 10 minutes according to the instructions here. And of course, your oats, you know, those are gluten-free as well. So 2 wonderful grains, good food, good sources. Get you some and enjoy these things. All right, guys, so all I did to that fonio, I cooked it just like I cooked the oatmeal. I added some almond milk. That's our favorite. We always cook with almond milk, sometimes rice milk. You can also use any plant-based milk. If you like nuts, nuts are a good source of protein. We like walnuts, and these walnuts, they come from Walmart. So walnuts, milk, and we actually use frozen fruit, and sometimes we use bananas. We try to use organic frozen fruits, whatever frozen fruits you like, berries, and a mixed blend. So, guys, we hope you have truly enjoyed today's live. Blind Guy, his wife live. We'll be back again tomorrow with more fun, more information, and we definitely encourage you to share this with others so that they can, get this great information as well, so that they can also partner with us with our Harambe. If you'd like to make donations, you can always send them. Partner with us, Cash App, Blind Guy, his wife. We do have a 501c3 nonprofit, so your donations definitely are tax deductible. All right, guys, signing off.
Deuces.
Deuces.